On Flashpoint Tuesday night, Gene Bailey and his guests talked about the voter ID bill Republicans are hoping to bring to a vote this week, despite the fact that many Democrats and the White House have said they do not support it.
Let me show you this graphic because you may be wondering, where do you have to show an ID and where do you not have to? Well, look at this graphic from Ballotpedia. Shows, now you see all the gray states there. Those are ones where no ID is required. So you got New Mexico, California, Nevada, all the way up the West Coast. You got all the way up the upper Northeast. None of this should be real surprising. Minnesota, the yellow ones, no photo ID, so you have to have something. You just don't have to have a photo with it. And then, of course, blue are the states that say you have to have a photo ID. Let me get you to speak to this, Floyd, because, I mean, this is heavily blue areas here that are in the non-ID required zone.
Yeah, and there's even a worse component of this. On top of this, states like Oregon and Washington, they mail a ballot to every registered voter. And so, you can go into Oregon and you can go into an apartment complex and you can see big, thick stacks of ballots just sitting there by the post boxes, because what happens is that hundreds of people that have moved, their ballots go there and then they're picked up, and those ballots are then used as part of this harvesting process.
Now you can watch this and all Flashpoint episodes at govictory.com/flashpoint. Mike?
Tim, a survey by the Center for American Political Studies at Harvard University identified immigration and inflation as the top concerns for American voters, with concern for immigration rising by 3% in just the past month. It also found Joe Biden's immigration approval rating was just 34% in June of 2024, down from a high of 46% in November of last year. Key findings include 57% of voters believe the border problem is worsening. 74% think the Biden administration should toughen illegal entry measures. 2/3 support increasing border security, and nearly 3 in 5 favor removing those who crossed illegally in the past year. Additionally, 79% of voters consider crimes by illegal aliens as a serious problem, and 70% worry about potential terrorists entering through an unsecured border. Lastly, 64% think Democrats are intentionally keeping the border open. The poll was conducted shortly after the June 27 debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Our next guest created the Truth Gazette and helps lead the GOP Youth Advisory Council. And now he is the author of the new best-selling book, One Generation Away, Why Now is the Time to Restore American Freedom. Brylan Hollihan, welcome back to Victory News.
Mike, good morning. Thanks for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Of course, Brylan, you just heard how concerned Americans are about our southern border crisis. Now listen to whistleblower Deborah White describe how illegal immigrant children are being handled.
Make no mistake, children were not going to their parents. They were being trafficked with billions of taxpayer dollars by a contractor failing to vet sponsors and process children safely, with government officials complicit in it.
Brylan, billions of dollars being used to traffic children across our border. Why do you think the Biden administration is not shutting this down and protecting those kids?
Well, Mike, it's simple. They do not care. They're listening to the radical wing of their party and not actually doing what's best for the safety of America. I don't know if you remember or not, but the very first action Joe Biden made on January 20th, 2021, when he was sworn into office, was rescinding every single one of Donald Trump's securing the border policies. He did that in a matter of an hour. It would take Joe Biden 1 hour to completely put those executive orders back out to secure America, to make our border safer. That's what my generation wants. That's the #1 issue in polling, as my peers, us first-time voters, go to vote. We're concerned about American safety. We missed the day when Law and Order wasn't just the title of a TV show, but was the actual standard here in America, Mike.
And Brylan, now listen to a U.S. citizen confront NGO members outside of a local DMV signing up illegal immigrants to vote.
What do you have to sign up to vote? A driver's license?
No. You have to be a U.S. citizen. It's a felony.
But how do you prove it, though?
You have to trust in the people.
So, Brylan, really just check a box, no ID required. Are we now on the honor system for voter registration?
Unfortunately, we are. I'll tell you this. I just registered to vote 2 weeks ago, the day of my 18th birthday, and it was just literally exactly like she said, a box that you checked. There was no proof. There was nothing at all that they requested. It was simply just saying that you're a U.S. citizen, and I guess the U.S. government believes me. It's unfortunate. We need to have safe and secure elections if we want to save our democracy in November.
Very, very good point. So congratulations on the new book, Brylan. Tell us why you wrote One Generation Away, why now is the time to restore American freedom.
Absolutely. One Generation Away is the culmination of 7 years of conversations with the American people, 7 years of listening to as many people as I could, but Mike, more importantly, talking to even more of them and hearing, and the same thing that you're hearing when you go on the streets, is that people do not have hope in America. The message that I share with my peers when I speak on college campuses and I share throughout this book is that my hope is in Jesus Christ alone, not in a DC bureaucrat. That's the message we're getting out there, and we're excited that it's a bestseller. Nice. Well, Brylan, TMZ released video of ABC anchor George Stephanopoulos out for a run where he addressed Joe Biden's political future. You got to listen to this.
Hey, how you doing? Good. What do you think? Do you think Biden should step down? You talk to him more than anybody else have lately, and you could be honest. You don't think he can serve 4 more years? All right. That's an answer.
Brylan, when a dyed-in-the-wool Democrat who supported you gives that candid answer, what are Joe Biden's chances, you think, of making it to November? Let's just take a step back here and focus on this. George Stephanopoulos, a very senior Clinton advisor, a DNC operative who just spent 22 minutes sitting down with the commander-in-chief, does not believe that the commander-in-chief will survive his term. This is terrifying. The fact that this man has had the nuclear codes for 3 years is terrifying. He's not going to be on the ballot in November. They're going to have to replace him at this point. All right. Now, did you know Jill Biden ordered the Marine Corps band to write her entrance music to be played anytime she enters an official event? Well, conservative commentator Benny Johnson shared a preview. Listen to this. Brylan, it's entitled Fanfare for the First Lady. Give us your honest review of it and Dr. Jill commissioning it. That song is almost as sad as the elder abuse that we're seeing her commit on the world stage by propping up Joe Biden so that she can still have the ritzy galas and Hunter Biden can get the pardon that he so desires. All right, be sure to get your copy of One Generation Away. It's available everywhere, and learn more about Brylan and his perspective on issues by visiting BrylanHollihan.com. Thanks for being with us today. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate y'all.